Three, two, one.
What is up, everybody? This is Ray and Ruben here with Franchise Tag Fantasy Football, bringing you another heater. Ruben,
Hmm.
first
Yes.
first week of the playoffs. How you feeling after the first week of the playoffs?
Terrible.
Hmm.
I was one of the Jonathan Taylor owners, so that didn't work out too well.
Do you keep him next year?
Do I keep him next
Do
year?
you?
Why not?
Hmm.
Why wouldn't I?
Little
That doesn't even
inside
that wouldn't even
information.
make no sense. Like, I'm sure everybody in the league knows, you know, I'm keeping him.
Was he a fourth round keeper for you?
Maybe a third. Maybe a third.
We'll look into that, but yeah, that's a pretty smart move to keep him because he's probably going to still go one of five
Yeah,
next draft
somewhere
for
around there.
sure. Mine, I'm not in the losers bracket anymore, so there's that.
You're still in the bracket.
Well, I'm in
You're
the I'm in
just
the bracket. I'm just not a part
you're
of the
just
last place.
out of the bottom.
Yeah, I'm out of the bottom. I've avoided the last place penalty. Um, let's talk about some news. You know what? Before we do that, any games that you want to talk about from this weekend?
Any games that stood out from a fantasy
I
standpoint?
just want to say any football games, like just talking about football in general.
Okay, I have one,
Go ahead.
and it's a question for you.
Sure.
What was the Patriots thinking?
I have.
The game is
I don't know.
tied.
I
What
don't
is
know.
you pitching and trying to do all this extraness for no reason
Somebody's
to
got to be
lose?
fired. Somebody's got to be. And the stiff arm that Chandler Jones gave Mac Jones, we're fighting in the parking lot after that. For sure, fighting in the parking lot. That's happening.
Yeah, it didn't make no sense. Like, and especially for people who had like Ramondre or Devontae and needed those points in overtime,
Mm-hmm.
for them to just shit the bed.
I don't
Huh.
understand that either. They were going to overtime for sure. You weren't getting, what was it, 65 yards? You weren't getting that. That's not going to happen. Come on. The other game I want to bring up, and look, I was pulling for the Colts to finally pull their heads out of their ass this week. How do they go up 33 points, go into the half, second half starts, and they piss that lead away? How do they do that? NFL record.
I think they're tanking. I think they're doing all this on purpose.
I,
Personally, like Jesus, you 33 points to zero.
that's tough. That's as tough as it gets.
Yes, that's out of control. Doesn't even make no sense. I don't know. I
See,
don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Matt Ryan has to retire. He's done.
yeah, he's completely done. Completely
They
done.
need a quarterback,
Do you,
and it doesn't need to be a quarterback that's 45.
yeah, and is over the hill. Do you think that if they would have had Jonathan Taylor for that whole game, you think they would have won that game? I think so.
I think they would have, if they would have went up 33 points, if they would have had Jonathan Taylor, I think they would have ran the ball a little more, and the Vikings might have scored a good amount of points, but I don't think they would have pissed that win away.
If you're a Michael Pittman owner, you're probably pretty happy. He was hyper targeted, so there was that. You know, there was that. We're recording right now, just so you guys know, Monday night during the Packer game. This debacle of a game. There's nothing happening in that. I just look. Rodgers needs to be benched. He needs to be benched. Just put Jordan Love in. Why can't we do it? I don't know. Let's get to the news and notes. There's not a lot. This is going to be a
Okay.
quick episode,
Okay.
guys. I think Aaron will be back next episode, maybe the next one. I don't know. Whenever he decides that he wants to join back in, I don't know. He's busy. He's busy doing some stuff.
Yes.
Um, yeah. Going into the news and notes here, like I said, this is Monday, 6:47 p.m. Just to give you guys context where we're at. Eagles quarterback and MVP candidate Jalen Hurts looking like he sprained his shoulder and most likely will not play against the Cowboys. What
I
do you
think he
think?
plays.
You think he plays?
I think he plays this game. They win this game,
And then they sit.
and then he sits the rest of the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
So if that's the case, you might want to look for a streamer for the next week if you got Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, we're going to deep dive into that because that's I would imagine that almost every team that's in the playoffs, there's got to be somebody with Jalen Hurts in the top four
Mhm.
this week. Got to be because he's been so dominant.
Mhm.
I wonder how high he goes in the draft next year. I wonder if he didn't get kept. I wonder third round,
Probably third,
maybe the second.
somewhere right next to Patty.
I was looking back at it. I was looking back at like what actually transpired in our league, and I was like, man, if Josh would have been there, he wouldn't have taken Patrick Mahomes, and I would have. I would have taken him.
You
Things would
don't
have
know
been
who.
different.
You don't know. Somebody could have took him before you. You don't know.
Well, they didn't, and I was at the 3-1, and he was at the 210. So I don't know. There's no way somebody else could have, but that's neither here nor there.
Wait a minute.
What's
You
up?
had the option.
You know, I did.
So you had the option
I did.
and you didn't take Patrick Mahomes. So how that that's not adding up, Raymond. That's not adding up.
I'm just hoping and dreaming that something changed, like somewhere
That's
in the
not adding
some
up.
parallel universe. I didn't deal with this quarterback issue all season. I think that's what it is. Um, yeah. So we're gonna deep dive into whatever waivers we can find for any quarterbacks. I think Trevor Lawrence has got to be on top of that list for sure if he's still available in your leagues. But Harbaugh won't commit to Jackson returning. This is Lamar Jackson. He's not saying that he's going to come back anytime soon. So that's tough. Even if he came back next week, would you put him in?
Yes. And I think he comes back because they're fighting to get in the playoffs. So like it's only 3 games left. Can't keep taking L's if you're trying to get in the playoffs. So I think he comes back next week.
He has to. That sucks because they didn't pay him. That sucks. That's what sucks about it. Tests are negative on Eckler's shoulder. Looks like he'll be fine.
Mhm.
It's kind of weird because he went down pretty hard. I didn't think he was going to be, you know, just a day-to-day kind of thing. Caleb Huntley suffered a season-ending Achilles injury. I don't think that really matters too much, except for the fact that like maybe Cordero gets a little more work. He was fine this week. He was fine. It's a solid play. Uh, Jonathan Taylor diagnosed with a high ankle sprain. His season's over.
Done.
Yeah, his season's over.
Yes. Done for the season.
The Cowboys have already clinched an NFC playoff spot, and that is pretty much it for the injury news right now. That's it.
Uh, yeah, I don't depending on how deep your league is, Tannehill hit you with the Paul Pierce if you watch basketball. You know, he took the card out and then came back, I don't know, 2 or 3 plays later. So he's good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Um Ramondre looks solid after
Yeah.
they said he had a high ankle sprain. If you have Ramondre, ride him all the way to the championship.
Yeah, I think
But
he's a must start every week.
yes.
Must start. And
Uh
that's even with Damian Harris involved in that game.
no, Damian Harris was out that game.
Oh, yeah,
He
who was
did
that
not
other
play.
running back then? I thought that was Damian
Probably
Harris.
one of the rookies.
Yeah, I thought that was
Yeah,
Damian
but
Harris the
it
whole
was not
time.
Damian Harris. He
Oh,
he was out.
oh, that whoever that was involved. I thought it was Damian Harris.
Yeah.
Any other news you got?
No, that's about it.
All right, let's just jump right into. This is a quick one. This is gonna be really fast,
We'll see.
man.
Maybe throw some
let's
things out there at the end.
yeah, let's
We'll
jump
figure it out.
let's jump into these waivers here. So, what we're gonna do, I think, right now, just because quarterback's probably gonna be the hottest topic. We'll start with quarterbacks, but I gotta see what is Trevor Lawrence? What is his owned percentage? Owned percentage. What is it? It's got to be somewhere in the yeah. Well, actually, it's 55%. Look, if you are the Jalen Hurts owner, if you are you know what? I would put him over Dak right now. Honestly, I'd put him over Dak. But if you're the Lamar Jackson owner, you
Let
know
me see.
all these different quarterbacks are now hurt. I'm going
Okay.
all in on Trevor Lawrence. All in. He's got to be the best streamer that you have left on your waiver wire, right? Got to be. I don't think there is.
I I don't know.
He does. He does have a tough matchup, right?
He plays no for. Are you talking this week?
This week and next week.
Maybe this week, but next week he plays Houston, and
That's not a tough matchup. It's just a bad matchup. That's what it is.
yeah, I don't know. That's going to be a tough decision to start him against Houston because a lot of people just don't throw against Houston. So
That's the thing is they don't have to. And if you end up with the game where Trevor Lawrence doesn't have to, it kind of sucks. But the rest of the waiver wires that are out there, the rest of the waiver quarterbacks that are out there right now, do you really want to take a shot on like Matt Ryan? Do you really want to take a shot on? I doubt Tua's right out there right now, but maybe
nah, I
Tua
don't
because
think two is there.
he's looking pretty rough right now too. I don't know. It's just the landscape of things. I think Trevor Lawrence needs to be picked up.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
would
I agree.
would you go with Trevor Lawrence's full rest of his rest of the season? So he's playing against the Jets. He's playing against Houston. You're not playing in a Week 18 playoff because you don't do those things because you're an intelligent human being. But let's say you could go Ryan Tannehill against Houston, Dallas. Would you do that?
Uh, no, I would not do that.
That's and I think Dallas is a better to play against than what we thought they were. Coming into the season, throughout the half of the season, they're a little easier to pass on than they've got a lot of injuries. Trayvon Diggs is hurt, and that's it, and everybody else is hurt. It's everybody. Geno Smith. Let's look at Geno Smith's. He plays Kansas City, which is a good matchup next week. I like
That's a good
that.
one.
Yeah.
Solid.
He plays against the Jets right after that, and the Jets do have a good defense. They do.
I mean, he sounds like a 1 week streamer. Like stream him next week
Yeah, I think you absolutely could
against
go
the
in.
Jets.
Yeah,
No, can't do it.
50,
Something that. Go ahead.
56% owned, by the way.
hmm I would look at Danny Dimes.
He's
He plays Minnesota,
mm-hmm.
then he plays Indianapolis. He kind of gives you a solid floor when it comes to rushing. And it depends. If Minnesota gets up, he's not gonna have no choice but to throw. So
This week was kind of a weird week. If you look at the numbers, you look how he did. It was a stinker for him, right? But it's the only stinker he's had really all season.
yeah, but he played Washington. Washington has a solid defense.
Yeah,
They're no pushovers.
yeah.
Like you when you look at
Minnesota's
defense,
bad.
I was about to say when you look at defenses, are you like, oh yeah, Minnesota is formidable? No.
No.
Or Indianapolis. Like, yeah, they got a cornerback, but like they're not scaring nobody. They just gave up 33 points to Minnesota. 36 or 39 or something like that. They lost. So
For the this is for the championship. This is championship week, and this is another name that you're probably gonna have to pick him up this week because if somebody that you're playing against is streaming quarterbacks, this is the best matchup you can ask for. Brock Purdy plays against Vegas week 17. Would you put him in?
whew, yes. I guess yes, I guess you
They
gotta play him.
they can't stop anything. They are
Yeah.
awful.
You gotta play him. That's solid. That's for sure solid.
So maybe something to maybe stash away if you can. But right now, what you're worried about is you're trying to get yourself to the next week. So your
Mhm.
bench players aren't really going to be that big of a factor unless you're in a keeper league. You know what I mean? So it's depending on how much you really want to buy all in. There's the grossest name possible. Sam Darnold.
You're not starting Sam Darnold.
Sam
No
Darnold
way.
against Detroit.
No way. No way. No way. No way.
Look, if
How'd Zach do? How'd Zach do?
Zach sucks. Zach's the worst quarterback in the NFL.
How'd Zach? So Sam Darnold's better than Zach.
He's like
Is
the
that what you're
third.
saying?
He's like the third worst quarterback in the NFL. Yes.
Okay, so you're gonna start. You're gonna start Darnold. That no. Hell no. How about that? Hell to the no.
Detroit's pass defense is bad. I don't know, man.
Okay.
I don't
It was bad
know.
last week too. And how did Zach Wilson do?
So let's say this. Let's say this. Okay. Let's say you're playing against somebody that was wised up, saw you needed a quarterback. They took a bunch of names off the board. They cleared their bench, and now they're stacking quarterbacks on their bench. So that you have to go with somebody at the position. It's Sam Darnold, right, against Detroit.
Okay.
Let's say Taylor Heineke
Okay.
against San
Again.
Francisco.
No, you're not playing him.
Nope.
Okay.
Or Mac Jones. These are names that maybe somebody would leave you against Cincinnati. I'm going, if that's the situation you're in, I'm going with Sam Darnold with
No.
A bag
I
over
just,
my face.
I just can't do it.
It's
Can't.
tough in that
I'd go
situation.
I'd go Mac Jones over Sam Darnold.
No, I couldn't do it. There's no Mac Jones looks so bad.
I mean, hey, I'd have to go Mac Jones.
That's so
I couldn't go
tough.
Sam Darnold. What Sam Darnold put up last week?
9 points.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. He 13-11.
13-11. No, I can't do it.
13-11. I,
Can't do it.
if you're in that pinch, that's where I would go. If you're in that pinch, because the rest of on the landscape outside of that, maybe Mike White's back. I would go Mike White over all of those names.
He's not going to start.
There's no way they go put Zach Wilson back in that goddamn field.
I'm just saying.
How bad does this man have to look before he gets the Josh Rosen treatment? How bad?
I'm just saying. They're not. He they didn't put Flacco in. I'm
Fucking
just saying.
bitch. This is disgusting. So to recap, in order, if Trevor Lawrence is out there, if Gino's out there, then Daniel Jones, then Ryan Tannehill.
Yes.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah. I like Trevor Lawrence because I think he took a step. That's how I saw it. I think he took a step.
Mhm.
He looks good, and I'm really excited to see what he looks like when he has Calvin Ridley. That's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. Running backs. Running backs. Do you spend up to go get Zach Moss?
You take then my question is Zach Moss or Deion Jackson?
Fuck, neither, man. Neither.
You got to go with one. And
Zach.
if you need a back, and if you are in the playoffs and you made it to the next round and you have Jonathan Taylor, what do you do?
You have to have something else on your roster. You have to.
What? What? Just give me a name on your roster.
I don't know. I feel like
Let's say you have AJ Dillon.
I
Do
would
you
put him
start
in. Yes,
AJ?
yes, yes,
Oh,
yes. Yeah, look,
I don't know.
I know that it's gross. I know that it sucks. But what are we seeing today? He
He's
is
playing the Rams. Don't do that.
he's at the bottom. Look,
Don't
they
do
play
that.
Detroit.
Don't do that. And Detroit's defense is win.
They're,
Detroit has one of the best run defense. If they play Detroit, because I don't know for sure.
let me
I
see.
think they played Detroit week 18. But if they play Detroit, Detroit has one of the
I take that back.
best run defenses in the last couple weeks.
They play in the next couple weeks. They play Miami and Minnesota. And AJ Dillon has 22 points right now.
Eh,
22 and a
I,
half.
I mean,
Late season back, right, Eric? Late season back, right?
uh,
He's listening. Great friend of the show.
I'm
Um,
just, eh, I
check
don't know.
check to
That's
see
a
if
tough one.
check to see if AJ Dillon's on your waiver wire. He's 61% owned. Check to see if he's there.
Yeah.
If for
What?
whatever's on ours, I think that's better than what we got.
Yeah. Uh,
Looking at
I
it.
I still might if you have to go with one of these two, I think I go with Deion Jackson
Yeah.
just for the receiving upside. Like, and I think he got I'm pretty sure he got the goal line carry, but that's when he caught the touchdown. But Deion Jackson, that's who I would go with.
I would too, more simply put, Deion Jackson has at least one 20-point game in his career. Zach Moss has never sniffed 20 points combined.
Zach was getting a lot of work,
I hate Zach Moss so
a
much.
whole lot of work.
How many carries did he get? I'm going to take a look real fast.
What?
24 attempts.
They was giving him a lot of work.
24?
I think his uh, yards per carry was probably terrible,
3.38.
atrocious.
That's bad. Um, yeah, I would go. If okay, so let's frame it in a different light. Upside, Deion Jackson. Floor, Zach Moss. Right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think so. And that could change because Zach Moss was so inefficient because he's not a good NFL running back. That's why. Rex Burkhead, you interested?
No, I'm not interested in Rex
Okay.
Burkhead. Not
Okay.
at all.
Just wanted to make sure.
Not at all.
Nope. I also am not interested. Trying to look at some other names here. That's
I'd be interested in Uh, Tyler Algier. He had a solid game.
He did. Tyler Algier has
Solid.
shown up a few times. He had 24 points.
24,
Yeah, he was
17 carries. Like, and Atlanta will run the ball.
no matter what.
So, I mean,
He
even though
was
Baltimore has a great run defense, I might look at Tyler Algier for sure.
yeah, he was 17 for 139, almost 8.5 per carry, and he had a touchdown. So, when given the opportunity, Tyler's looked fine. So, would you put him at the top of your list right now, barring one of these off names that aren't necessarily like big names? Um, would you put him at the top of your list, Tyler Algier?
Probably go Deion Jackson,
Okay.
Tyler Algier,
Mm-hmm.
Zach Moss.
Gross. Even saying picking up Zach Moss is disgusting.
Hey,
Um, I would also like to bring up Jalen Warren's name. Just a,
you're,
I don't think
you're
that
not starting him, Raymond. You're not starting him. Now's
again.
not the time to have handcuffs for somebody else's back.
No, I'm not saying as a handcuff at all. I'm not saying that against
Are you saying
Vegas.
are you saying start him?
Against Vegas, you couldn't flex him.
No. No
Okay,
way.
okay.
No way.
In a pinch,
Um, like you said, you should have something else on your bench that you could use.
I hope so. Please put that in the comments. If you guys got something else, you got a question like this, we're trying to go back and forth right now just because the waiver wire is so barren for us, and we don't want to leave you guys hanging with like no names. We didn't tell you anything. At least at that point, if you're in that situation, you have nobody else. I think you could get by streaming Jalen Warren. I think you could, but
Mm.
man, that's low. That's an all time low. Anybody else you want to bring up?
From a running back standpoint.
Yeah, I don't. I don't got anybody else either. For receivers, now I'm gonna. This is crazy. Tyler Boyd is only 56% owned. I think he needs to be at least rostered.
Uh, sure.
I think he does.
I don't. Yeah, sure. It's a
Like
potent offense, but
potent offense, and they play. Well, they play New England next week, so that's probably not great. Not a great matchup.
some people I would take a look at is Miko. If you might need
Yes.
somebody, if Miko is back,
Yes.
he's only 33% rostered. If you need a wide receiver and you stuck, I would really take a look at Miko Hardman.
I would as well. More so because Marquez Valdez Scantling he was in and out of the lineup throughout that game. He was hurt.
And
So
Miko gets a lot of red zone work.
yeah,
So yeah.
he's when he was on the field when he was healthy, he was used a lot.
Hmm.
He was utilized, and they're good at doing that. Trying to think, maybe what do you think about Isaiah McKenzie?
No.
No,
I would I mean you dart throw.
that is a
If
dart
you
throw.
gotta if you gotta I'm talking about this is the name I'm about to mention. It is a dart throw. Um Noah Brown, he's been getting a lot of work. That's a dart throw.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't necessarily say go out there and get him, start him, but I mean, if you don't got nothing, you need some help,
Yeah,
that might be somebody.
that's tough.
And he's playing Philly, so depending on if Jalen Hurts is starting, Philly puts up a good amount of points, might see a shootout.
It's unfortunate that the Patriots' offense is so piss poor through the air because Nelson Aguilar is 8% owned, and I think that he would be if they were at least a little bit more dependent on the passing game. He'd be interesting, but I can't certify somebody. I can't. There's no way. There's no way, man. And does it get tougher than that? Um, just taking a look at a couple more names real fast just to make sure that we're not missing somebody. KJ Osborne. You interested?
Oof. Who started him? If you started KJ Osborne last round, you got blessed. Cause man, um,
2 weeks in a row.
do you start him? I'd start him over Noah Brown. Yes, I'd do that for sure.
against a leaky Giants defense.
I would do that. I would for sure do that. That's a good name.
17% owned, 4% started. Look, if you started him, I need to know. Put it in the comments. I gotta see it. I gotta see somebody say,
I
yeah,
don't.
I put him in. I knew it. I knew it. That's tough. Matt Collins is the last name I'd want to bring up. Um,
Uh,
30,
mm,
32% owned. I would rather go KJ Osborne. I would. This is for deeper leagues, like 14-man leagues, deeper. We've been talking about Matt Collins for a long time, and he hasn't really ever taken that next step to like kind of explode onto the scene. But I think you could probably get by with them on a roster. This is deeper leagues. They're playing against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's defense isn't necessarily something I'm afraid to pass against. Just a thought. And then John Dotson. We talked about it on the mic, Rube. We talked about it.
it's not. No. No way. No. Not. No. Not.
Okay.
Not going there.
Okay.
It's Terry McLaurin, and then you don't know who it's going to be. It could be Samuel. It could be Dotson. You don't know. It's too, and they don't score enough to um support two receivers.
Now, I want to just read something off to you real fast because I thought this is why I wanted to bring it up. This is why he's been hurt a lot of the season. He's been hurt, and he's a rookie, right? His point totals when he plays is ridiculous. 16 points, 15 points, 2 points, and I think he got hurt that game with a hamstring. Came back the next game against Dallas, 11-8. Then got hurt for a long stretch of time. Didn't see the field against Philly. Didn't see the field against Houston. Atlanta, he put up a goose. I don't think he played more than, let me see how many snaps he's got. I don't
He
see it.
was he was there for Philly,
Was he?
Houston,
Oh, yeah.
41% of the snaps against Philly,
Yeah.
66% of the snaps against Houston, 61% of the snaps against
He has
Atlanta.
0. But then, like, you see against the Giants and you see against the Giants again. 13 points, 20 points.
He don't play the Giants no more.
That's true. He plays against San Francisco next week.
He don't play the Giants no more.
I don't know. I think it's a name that's at least worth talking about. I don't know if I'd start him,
Mm,
but
Like I said, they don't
damn,
put up enough points
it's true.
to support two receivers.
It's true. Um, I think that's it for receivers. That's all I got. That's it.
Yes.
I'm scratching the bottom of the barrel with my spoon. I'm in there just digging, like, come on, find something. Tight ends. Tight ends. We'll get to defenses, and that's it. We'll wrap it.
uh Evan Ingram, he's 50% owned. If he's still out there, grab him. If you need a tight end, I'd probably throw the rest of my fab at him. I don't know what you got left. Just get him on your team because
Yeah,
he's been going crazy. He
and he
might
put
be a league winner.
he's got plus matchups across the board too for the rest of the season. He's got the Jets. They're not good at stopping the tight end. He's got Houston. The only thing they give up through the air is tight end
The
numbers.
tight ends, correct? Mhm.
And then you're not playing a Week 18 playoffs, so there's that. Yeah,
Yes,
I like
yes.
that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet.
Dude. Woo.
I hate it, but
Uh,
yes, it has to be. 51% owned. I think that 52% owned. You could probably get by. Taysom Hill.
uh,
Taysom Hill.
no. Taysom is no. Jahan Johnson.
Okay.
I'd go Jahan Johnson over both of those two you just mentioned.
I wouldn't over Cole Kmet. I would over Taysom Hill.
I would over both. What is Cole Kmet did for you to even bring Cole Kmet up?
He's been hurt a little bit there. He's been banged
Five,
up.
5, 4, 10, 4.
But look at the targets he's got.
Okay.
7,
But
4, 6, 7, 5. That's pretty good for a tight end.
yeah, it's okay, but Justin Fields is not a thrower. And
Not
he's
a.
only going to hit you if you're wide open.
The only thing that scares me about Juwan Johnson is that he's so touchdown dependent, and I understand all tight ends are touchdown dependent.
I would say everybody is.
All of them are, but him
Mhm.
specifically is just like a next level of touchdown dependency. I I don't know.
Look at his targets. Check his targets.
I'm looking right
Compare the
now.
two targets.
I'm looking right now. I'm looking right
Like
now. 6, 2, 4,
six,
7, 2.
seven, 4, 6, 7, 5. Like he's getting the targets too.
He's getting targets. I like Juwan Johnson. I think that's a good pickup. Dawson Knox is probably the last name I want to talk about.
Mm.
He's burned a lot of people. Burned a lot of people,
Yes.
but in the last couple weeks, he's been heavily involved. 7 targets, 8 targets. Now I understand that was also coupled with the fact that he played 84% of the snaps, 78% of the snaps 3 weeks ago and 4 weeks ago with 2 targets and 1 target. I don't like that. But going by trends right now, he is playing against Cincinnati next week. They're gonna have to throw. He's gonna have to be in at least involved in the offense to get them down the field.
They they
Oh, they
play
play
Chicago.
Chicago, then Cincinnati. Sorry.
Chicago.
Yeah, they play Chicago and then Cincinnati. I'm not afraid of Chicago at all.
Yeah, but they're pretty good against tight ends. So
I think he's worth taking a look at. He's probably less owned, maybe even Tyler Higbee too. I can't watch the game right now. I can't see what's
no,
going on. So
you're not. I don't even care what Tyler Higbee has right now. I'm not trusting Baker to save my life.
it's true. And Tyler Higbee hasn't been very good at all. Yep, that's it. That's all of them. That's it.
Yes,
In order, Rube. In order, what would you do? You go Evan Ingram,
Evan
then
Ingram, Jahan Johnson, and then whoever you want to pick after that.
I think it would go that and then Dawson Knox.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Dawson
Only
Knox got to
because
be
he's
involved.
on a only because of the offense he's on.
Look,
Yes.
if you can get a piece of it. Defenses. This is only a couple of them. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. It's tough. I don't like the Jets against Jacksonville next week. I don't like it. I don't. No,
Like
I
Tampa Bay against Arizona.
okay. Okay.
That's a solid one. And then Colt McCoy is in concussion protocol, so they might be at their quarterback 3.
Mhm.
So solid. And then I might even look at the
I
Chargers
was
at the
just
Colts.
I was just about to say that.
Like Matt Ryan has
Yep.
not scared a soul.
And the Chargers defense has looked a lot better the last couple weeks. They've been fine. They've been fine.
Yeah.
Their point totals. I mean, yes, they had a 3-point against Miami, but right before that, Vegas 12 points, Tennessee was 7 points. They've been all right, been good,
Mhm.
And I think that they're getting a little more healthy out there. I don't know. And those are the
All I
two
can
defenses I
think.
would target. Yeah, those
Yeah.
those are the two defenses I would target. In a pinch. Detroit's defense against Carolina. If you're, do you not think that might be viable
Maybe. Yeah.
in a pinch?
Yeah. It might be viable.
Yeah.
Only thing that scares me is, Detroit gives up a lot of passing yards. So,
Mm-hmm.
could be a busted coverage or something. But yeah, that's not bad.
They do get a lot
Solid.
of sacks though too. They do get a lot of sacks. So,
hmm Yeah, that might.
but that's all the waivers. That's it. That's
Ooh.
it. It's tough. Anything else for the greater good, Rube?
Uh, I have one question.
Yeah.
Who's your top league winner off the
Like
waiver wires?
off the waiver wires.
Yeah, somebody that wasn't drafted and was picked up off the waiver wires that could win you a championship.
Is Zay Jones available? Hold on.
There's no way
Hold
Zay
on.
Jones is available.
Let me see. I'm gonna take a look real fast because if we miss that name, he's not available in our league. You have him, but I want to see what his availability is. 43% owned. Go get Zay Jones.
Yes.
Go get Zay Jones.
I mean,
And
we mentioned him last week.
yeah, I just did. I didn't.
Oh, I would expect that Zay Jones is not available in most people's
Oh
league,
my
but
god,
you got to get him at
he's
this
been
point.
he's been going
Crazy.
bonkers right now. My god.
Yeah.
Imagine. I don't know. I would think, honestly, if you needed a quarterback, I would think Trevor Lawrence would be the guy that could get you a championship. If he did it
Ugh.
against Dallas, and Dallas is supposed to have this top 5 defense, if
Th-
he did it against Dallas,
But Dallas is injured.
I know
Dallas,
that.
I think they've lost every cornerback except Diggs. Like,
That's who I would say. I would say it would have to be Trevor Lawrence if it's not Zay Jones. If that doesn't count.
I would say those two are solid. I would say McKinnon might be.
Oh, yeah, McKinnon, yeah,
He
for sure.
might
Oh
be a
yeah,
league winner.
yeah.
Like he's not getting a lot of rushes, but he's getting all the passing down
Oh
work,
yeah,
and
and it's crazy to
his
see that.
yeah, and it seems like he's if it ain't Kelsey, it's McKinnon. So I
And he's
mean,
53% owned.
I would. That's
Look, well, I redact everything. McKinnon would definitely be the league winner for sure.
so. Those are just a couple.
Yeah, I didn't think that he was. I didn't think he was under 50. I figured he had to be in the 70s. That's why I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, tough out there.
It is tough, and that's crazy because of all the running back injuries and stuff like that. Yeah,
And
if McKinnon's out there, I would spend every penny that I had in Fab. It didn't matter at this point; it would be gone.
and for the listeners, yes, we didn't mention these people in the waiver wire pickups. That was just because we mentioned them last week, and
Yeah,
we don't want to keep mentioning the same people over and over again. So like,
unless it's Justin
if they
Fields.
are if they are available, you go get them. You
Yeah,
go get them.
McKinnon for sure, 100% needs to be on your roster if he is not if he's available in waivers. Has to be. I started him in the sixer in a 6-man league. I started him in a 6-man league. That's how important he is. Crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else, Rube?
Nah, Raymond. Just gonna go out here and drink my life away since I'm not in the running for the big money league no more.
Welcome
And
to the room.
I had a shot.
You
You
know,
know,
we all had a
I
shot
had
at
a shot.
making the
No, no,
big
no,
money.
no, no. You wasn't dancing. You wasn't dancing.
No one
You
invited
know,
me. I didn't get an
you
invite.
was not dancing. So I mean,
I was at the
you know,
pool.
on to the off season.
Yeah, on to the off season. Well, thanks guys for sticking around. If you guys could give us a like, give us a share, give us a subscribe, help us grow. If you guys want some jerky, go hit up driftlesjerky.com. Make sure you use promo code franchise tag to get yourself 10% off. And until next time, we will see you later.